of Adinath Bhagwan. So, okay. So I'll just.
Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah. Because whosoever we can think of, like I try to send it to those people, like,
Yeah.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's okay.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good
afternoon,
Doctor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon, Prem.
हाँ जी डॉक्टर साहब जय जिनेंद्र
Jai Jinesh.
स्वागतम
Jai Jinendra.
मेरी वाइफ बोलती थी सबसे पहले बोलना है सबका करेंगे सबका स्वागत प्यार से करेंगे सबका स्वागत
सबका
हम जय जिनेंद्र से करेंगे सबका स्वागत.
Very nice.
Jai Jinendra, everybody.
हाँ जी जय जिनेंद्र जी
Are you able to hear us, Didi?
Hi, Manu.
Yeah, hi, Bhaiya. Kya haal chal?
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you very much. It's a great attendance. This should be the first of many programs like this where one of the committee members, maybe one of our members, will talk about something of interest to everybody, something personal to them that they feel will be of interest and value to everybody else. So this is the first of many. Sorry, Auntie, Manoj, we're all excited about this. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Manoj.
Jai Jinendra, everyone.
Jai
Jai
Jinendra.
Jinendra.
So as Sabahu mentioned, this is the very first attempt since the unity has come into play. And if anyone, if everyone wants to unmute themselves, that would be easier for other people to hear. So yeah, that's the very first attempt, and we're gonna share some very personal experiences that we did in 2019 for the Yatra. So it all started when Kokimasi will tell her story as well, exactly what happened and how it happened. But I'm very excited about this. But before that, let me introduce our lovely participants today. So it's Mrs. Rachna Jain and Mrs. Rasksha Jain. So I'll just spotlight for everyone, so you know who we're talking about. So this is Rachna Jain for everyone, and Rasksha. So both of them, they went together, and they created this early presentation, the one that we're going to share with you very soon. This is about Jain temples in UK that we have, and the second person is lovely Rasksha. Right, so I'll pass on to Rasksha now. And Rasksha, if you are ready and you can start or share your presentation, that will be amazing.
Sure, just checking you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You want me to share my presentation, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay. Right. Can you see this okay?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, let me just make a start and just say hello to everyone. It's really lovely to be here today. Feel very privileged to have been asked to give this short presentation. So looking forward to sharing this this message, this content with you all. So before I start, it's not a very long presentation, but before I start, I just wanted to just talk about what we want to achieve with this short presentation. So the objectives of this one is really twofold. Number one, for the generations, for those of us who are very familiar with Jainism and would like to go on yatras and to mandirs and offer our prayers. So this is just, you can take it as a recap of all the different Jain temples and Jain groups that there are in the UK. that you can go to if, say, you wanted to go to India, because we'll hear shortly, as Manoj said, we'll hear some personal experiences, some great experiences that were had by going to India, going to, all these beautiful Jain temples in India. But if it's not possible to go to India, there are places and groups closer to home in the UK that we can be going to. So firstly, is just to recap what those are for those generations of us that do want to have that spiritual journey and want to go to such places. I think somebody, if we can go on mute, please,
Can somebody
because I can hear
please,
some background
can
noise.
everybody mute themselves, please?
Move up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So that's number one. And then the number two objective is really for those new generations of us, the younger ones and the ones who maybe are still older but are still learning about Jainism. And the objective here is more educational, is to learn about all those places here in the UK which are a symbol of Jainism, but also which helps us learn about Jainism, which helps us on that educational journey. It's not just educational, it's also about places where you can meet others who have a similar background, culture, ways of living, same values, same identity as you do. So it's a place where you can go and you have a sense of belonging. And finally, for that new generation, those new generations, it's a way of you then learning and then passing on that knowledge to the generations that will come after you. So hopefully it's clear. So it's those of us who want to move focused on the spiritual, religious side, being able to find those places of worship closer to us. And then for the younger generations, learning, getting an understanding of the religion and being able to have that sense of identity and being able to pass it on to those who will come after you. So hopefully that makes sense. And before I start all of this, I'd just like to very humbly thank Rachna, who actually put all this content together. And I'm merely here today to convey the message, but she did all the research and all the content is from Rachna. So thanks, Rachna, for pulling all of this together, doing all the hard work. And then finally, just a bit of a disclaimer. Do forgive us if anything is wrong. Obviously, research is done mainly from the internet and also probably talking to other people. But if we've got some details wrong, do forgive us. It's not intentional. So with that, let's just take a quick journey on a virtual yatra before I hand over to a real one that we'll hear about later on. So as you can see on this slide here, I've divided it into 4 different places in the UK where we will find Jain places of worship. So firstly, in the southeast, in the greater London area, Hertfordshire, is where, as you can expect, to find more temples. But also then we've got Jain temples and groups even in the Midlands, in the north, and there are lots of smaller groups also that are spread across the place. So let's take a look at the Greater London temples firstly. Okay. So firstly, there's the Oshawa Centre in Hertfordshire. So it was established, it's established quite early on in 1968. And obviously its aims are to advance the Jain religion in the UK, to relieve poverty, advance education and protection of health. So it's the site of the first Shikarbad Jain temple in Europe. So what that means is, for some of us who are not familiar with it, I had to go Google it up myself. I understand that there are temples which will be there are dome temples like the Shikarbad ones, but then there are flat roofed ones, but these ones are with those beautiful and big structures and the domes. So on the side, it says that it's the site of the first Shikarbad Jain temple in Europe. So besides the temple, as you can imagine, a lot of those temples, especially the bigger ones, they're used as venues for weddings and for cultural events, in addition to having the mandir in it. So whilst the main center is in Hertfordshire, the organization that set up this mandir, they also have venues in Kingsbury, corridor. You can see a picture there of the outside, very beautiful, but also a picture of the inside mandir. Okay, so if we go to the next one, so this is Navnath Association in Hayes. So a little bit of the background that Rachna researched on. Navnath means 9 castes, and this group felt that if all the different castes were to be combined, then it would be very inclusive. It would be to the advantage of everyone in the community. So it started, if I understand correctly, more in East Africa rather than in India, but it's also now probably recognized in India also. So we saw that with Oshawa Center, it was established in 1968. Here we're talking about 1978. So again, you've got the mandir, but also lots of different facilities that can be used for other purposes for the group of people that belong to that association, but potentially to others. That's the inside of the mandir. Can we go on mute, please? Okay, thank you. All right, so then there's the Mojave Foundation in Canton. So this one is very close to home because I'm based in Istanbul. It's a very popular place for devotees. It's got a residential, I think, pujari, but there's lots of different pujas that can be done, snatra puja, etc. Okay, that's the inside of the mandir. Then we've got the Sri Digambar Jain Association in Hara. From research, it looks like in 1993, the property was apparently a clinic or maybe a medical property belonging to the medical professionals. But in 1993, it was bought to then become a mandir. And in 2001 is when the inauguration happened, the Pratishthit Bhagwan was installed. And then later in 2003 was when the actual pujas started, and Abhishek and puja is since being performed daily at the mandir. We move on to the Jain Vishwa Bharati. So it was established, as you can see, it's over time, 2003, a bit later on, started with 1968 with the Oshawa Center, then 1978, Navnath. Moving on to more recent ones, and the Jain Vishwa Bharati is operated by our respected Shamnijis, and it aims to uphold the values of Jainism, from ahimsa to moderation and all the divergent perspectives. It helps us to develop further as individuals through seminars and training and workshops and meditation, yoga, and all of those techniques. Okay. And then there's also Srimad Raj Chandraji, there's a mandir in Bushi. So this is also probably a mandir or a group, an association. So there's a lovely building here that we can see, which is the center for that group. Okay, then we've got Kailashgiri Temple in Hounslow, which is a Digambar Jain temple. So it was established with the help of different communities across Europe, Canada, and India. It's got the murtis in there, very beautiful picture here. And again, it holds different programs for the members. Okay, so these are the various different mandirs and associations in mostly in London. So let's take a look at the Midlands. So we've got the Jain Samaj in Leicester. So based on the website, it says that that was the first Jain center in the world to cater for all the Jain sects. 1973, there was an increasing population of Jains in Leicester. So that's how the Samaj came about. It was registered as a charity in 1978, which is around the same time as the Navnath group, I believe. So the temple was completed in 1988. That's a picture of the mandir inside. So then in terms of another Jain Samaj, we then go to Manchester, further up north. So in Manchester, there was a very small community of of Jains, but within a short period, the numbers grew, and then the Samaj again was established. So there was a grand opening in 2002 with a very beautiful marble temple inside. So as you can see, it's really beautiful. Yeah. Okay, and as I mentioned, so that's just a few of them, but there's obviously lots of different groups and different kind of smaller groups and centers everywhere. You'll find them in Edgware, such as the Jain Network and Sri Navyug Jain Pragati Mandal, but there's also others elsewhere in London, in Wembley. Some are part of Hindu temples, and some in Birmingham as well. I'm sure there's lots more, but these are just an example of the different groups and the diversity of them that we can find in the UK. So with that, I'll hand back to you, Manoj. Thank you. Thanks so much for everyone.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Raksha. That was really nice.
Thank you.
And yeah, in a short span, what you've done is really remarkable. So wholeheartedly, thank you from me and from all the EC and the extended members. I think this presentation was very nice, understanding about what we have in UK and the beautiful pictures all you put together with Rachna. So thank you to both of you. I really like your comment about the disclaimer. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's nice, but one thing I'll just kind of say while everyone is there. So this is more like very extended family to us. I've been part of this association for the last 15 years. And the warmth that I've received so far is so overwhelming, which is why I am here and trying to do my best. In fact, today it just feels like a very extended family or other reason as well, because I haven't seen my Mamaji in a while. And it's really, really nice to see him here. And I can see my Mamiji sitting in the background as well, which is just introducing them. They're from Canada. And Ashamasi and everyone. So really humbled that everyone is coming and helping us, supporting wherever we can. So thank you very much. So that before we do the next presentation, I just wanted to highlight or say something about what I've learned going through the lovely stories. So everyone must have heard the stories about, Shravaks. So Shravak basically means a male Jain who follow the principles, and we have many stories about them, what they do in their lives, and we get inspired from them. I hope many people do know that we do respect ladies as well. There's a special place for ladies in Jainism. So there is something called Sola Satya. So it's about 16 ladies that we look up to, and they're idol for regardless of gender. So like Sati, Mata Sati, Chandana Mata, Trishla Mata, Sulsa Devi. There's so many stories like that. But today the story that we're gonna hear is from Mrs. Cockela Mehra. It's a story of Masiji, and all I'll say is, so she initiated the lifetime yatra, and with her there were other 5 more souls who got blessed, and they experienced something which was overwhelming. So without further ado, I'm gonna share that with you guys. Here we go.
Hello, Jai Janendra. I was born in a Jain family. I've lived in the UK for 60 years. I was taught Christianity at a Roman Catholic school and then a convent. And I've married in a Hindu Punjabi family. So I've had a very multi-faith beginning to my life and my education. Growing up in the northwest of England, indeed, we did not have any non-British neighbours or school friends. There were no Hindus, let alone a Jain community. We therefore had no access to any mandirs or any opportunity about learning our religion. So we knew the most basic of Jain prayers and bhajans, We had a small mandir at home, and occasionally we sang bhajans and recited the Namgar mantra with my parents and my younger sister. Most Hindu and Jain festivals were celebrated at home with, again, mum, dad, and my sister, because we didn't have anyone else. We celebrated the 8 days of reusance by not eating any fruit or green vegetables and trying not to eat anything from outside. This is the extent of my beliefs and my practicing Jainism. I'm not a religious person, but I aspire to be a good person. Many of my family and Jain friends had been on yatra over the years. The one place that stood out for me was Palitana. It seemed as if everyone had been there. I have one memory of my mum who went to Palitana. She was asthmatic and going uphill was very difficult. Indeed, a slight incline rendered her breathless. So understandably, she was really apprehensive when she saw Palitana. But she met a sadhu there and he blessed her and he said, "Don't worry, you will have no problems going up and coming down." Indeed, that's what happened. So this has always stayed in my memory. And I thought one day I would love to do once in a lifetime yatra. I let my sisters know of my feelings and told them that they've got to organize this for me. This eventually happened in October 2019. With my nephew Manoj's determination, his brother Vikas's organization, and Vikas's wife Mamta's practical organization of taking food and any other items that we might need on our journey. Manoj's cousin Suvrat decided he wanted to join us. And my eldest nephew Anup decided he wanted to come along too, and he came from Bangalore. So it came to pass that one October morning in 2019, I embarked on my once-in-a-lifetime adventure, accompanied by 5 young adults. You'll see a beautiful presentation of our yatra of 13 mandirs in 10 days, along with my personal journey, experience, thoughts, and feelings that have become so memorable. We set off from Cockela, Punjab to Ahembdabad, a 26 hours journey by train. But I don't know where the time went. My young companions kept me entertained by singing bhajans, by telling religious stories, and lively, interesting discussions. They were all very knowledgeable. This set a great atmosphere on our spiritual journey. We met my eldest nephew at Ahembdabad. The train station was busy, hectic, hustle and bustle, people rushing here, there, everywhere. This just added to our anticipation and excitement. We got into our pre-arranged taxi and continued our journey. Indian roads are always busy, and this was no different. But we didn't really notice, too engrossed in our thoughts and chatter. It was getting darker when we arrived at our first destination, Ayodhyapuram. On entering, I felt as if all the all the worldly pressures, poverty, crowds, tension vanished. And we entered this beautiful, peaceful, calm, safe place, full of fresh air. It was like a haven, a sanctuary. It felt like home. It was a large complex where there was a Gurukul, where students resided. They were taught normal education alongside religious education. I met 2 students there. They were so peaceful, they were calm, they were content, they were grounded. I really enjoyed talking to them. The mandir and the complex had a magical aura, and I didn't want to move from there. But we had to leave, but not before we managed to do arti. We had to reach Palitana before it got too late to book into a Jain dharmshala. Next morning, we made our way to Palitana Mandir. The whole town seems to be full of sadhus and sadhus. At the bottom, we did a puja at Talheti. Even this, without going up, seemed to be one yatra. It was really impressive. I took the chair, Balti, to go up because it would have been difficult for me to keep up and return before nightfall. This allowed me to see the views and my surroundings, which were breathtaking. The steps were wide, low, straight, so easy to climb, which I did climb to as much as possible. There were not many yatris there, as it was the last few days of Chamasa. This enabled us to do puja in comfort. The Pundits had to tell us the history and many stories. It was the first time I was doing puja, and Mamta and Manoj were by my side all the time, explaining the right way to do it. Coming down was easier, and we stayed the night to recuperate. This allowed us to explore the town. We visited a museum. It had an eternal quote. It was in a casket behind the cabinet, but it's
Various.
The thing about the museum that most impressed me was the beautiful sculptures, the murtis, the jewelry that adorned them.
This tissue, is it for the
Thing I like was these wooden planks, hundreds of them, with the history written on them. They must be very, very old. I'm not sure exactly how old, but for someone to do that, it's mind-blowing. When I was dreaming on going on a yatra, Palitana was always the uppermost in my mind. I had always heard from everyone, and I must do yatra. But I have to admit that together with Ayodhyapuram, it was Girnar that affected me the most. The whole day was magical. We started full of energy, enthusiasm, lightness, happy moods, even at 4 a.m. in the morning when it was still dark. This is where Neminath Bhagwanji attained moksha, and countless other saints. The place was buzzing with people. Sellers selling their sticks and other items. Girnar is a lion country. It has double the height of Palitana. Steps are narrow and high and windy, difficult to climb. So again, I took a help of Dolly. We started our ascent in the dark. From nowhere, a dog appeared. He was gentle, non-threatening, waited with us. He seemed to know that there were 6 of us in our party, and he would wait until all of us arrived, then go to the next level. This went on till it started to get lighter, and our lovely, patient guide dog disappeared. The whole mountain had an aura, which is hard to describe. But there was a beautiful atmosphere. The surroundings were rugged, breathtaking beauty. We didn't see any lions as it was daytime, but we did see a lot of monkeys. Many people were already at the mandir because it was time for the puja and Rasksha to take place. The atmosphere when the bhajan started was electrifying. Yatras all singing with their full mind and soul and just being in that moment with everyone. On discussing afterwards, all my companions had the same experience. The icing on the cake, people pay thousands to have the privilege of Rasksha and adorning Bhagwanji. The family who actually won the boli decided to give 4 tokens to Vikas. He in turn let me go with him, Manoj and Anup. We saw 10 mandirs, which had something special. With each one had something special. Each one had amazing history and facts about them. There was a mandir with more than 1,000 pillars, I think 1444. And wherever you sat, no view was obscured. There was one with wooden carvings that was absolutely mind-blowing. One mandir had, you couldn't build any more mandirs on top of a certain height. And if anyone tried, they would just break. And there was also another mandir where the wood didn't take fire. Then there was a mandir, Jirawala Parishnathji. That was a huge and a new mandir. Then there was Mini Bhavapuri. That's a replica of Bhavapuri, which is Mahavir Swamiji's Nirvana place. Bhavapuri, where he went to moksha at the age of 72. Mini Bhavapuri is a huge, beautiful place. It's got lovely artistic sculptures all around. For the whole place on a horse and carriage. Everywhere reminders of and educating us on why not to waste food and why do we do Jeev Daya, thereby protecting our limited resources on our planet. One of the places in the office, the admin office, we saw a lot of volunteers who came from the cities. They all had good jobs, but they gave up their time, 6 months, a year, to do seva at the mandirs. And when we wanted to donate the money, you felt really confidence in these young guys. They had a lot of knowledge. They were giving up their free time, and it just gave me confidence that the money I was giving was going to the right places. We were really humbled by these really lovely, nice young people, and how they showed us not to waste food and water. It left quite an impact. There are so many facts and amazing history, the architecture, the beauty. We Indians certainly do not know the treasures we have and how important it is to preserve these great temples. On my once-in-a-lifetime adventure, I learned new words. Rakshao, Prachin, Namojinanam. I also learned about eating sattvic foods and no wastage. Whenever I dreamt of, in the last 20 to 25 years, this yatra delivered. This was truly once in a lifetime experience. For 10 days, I was with my 5 young companions. I don't know where those 10 days went. They just mingled up because there was so much to see, so much to hear, so much experience to experience that I didn't have time to process everything properly. I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't think about my family in UK once. I didn't suffer any sickness. I didn't have any stomach pains. I wasn't tired. I didn't have any aches and pains. It really was my once in a lifetime yatra. Can I call on Manoj to conclude our yatra by singing a bhajan of the 10 mandirs, of the mandirs doing vandana to them. Thank you for listening. Over to you, Manoj.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much, Masiji. That was really nice, very mesmerizing. Took me back when we were doing the yatra, the team that we had that you mentioned, 5 young companions. That was really, really overwhelming. You just got that feeling again, the blessed feeling that we had. And I'm so humble. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart that you shared your personal experience. I think it's really important for us as a young generation, and even anyone who has been to Yatra, going there and understanding what is the significance, what does Jainism stands for, what are the things that we can do and what we should do. So without further ado, I would like to go on to our next presentation, which is by Mr. Vikas Jain. And Vikas actually is from Punjab, Kapurthala, and a businessman. So he was there. You may recognize him from the pictures that we shared. So Vikas, welcome.
Thank you.
And if I just start from the very first question, Jai Janendra, tell us something about the yatra you did in 2019.
Sure. I would love to talk about the amazing experience I had in my yatra. I went in October 19 with my family members. Yatra means place where Trinthakar had done dhyan, tapasya, visited there, or any kalyanak had happened. Kalyanak means 5 stages in the life of Tirthankar Dev. In the memory of their tapasya, we visited and worshipped the certain places as Tirth. The main reason we went for this wonderful yatra was Koki Masiji, who lived in UK. She wanted to go for it and had spoken to Manoj once. It was very difficult for her to climb 3,600 steps of Palitana Holy Hill, as she had knee problem. But it was miracle that she found no difficulty in reaching at top. Another Tirath at Girnarji, Pakshal is must to watch. Pakshal means giving bath to Tirthankar's Pratima with milk and water. I didn't want to leave this Tirath, but we have to do another 9 Tiraths in the coming days.
Lovely, thank you very much. So if we ask, is Yatra a religious thing? Or could we have fun in Yatra? So say, how could you encourage youngsters, to think about the Yatra and what are your takes on that?
My daughter, Bhavya Jain, sitting next to me, would like to answer this question.
Jain Shidev. Yes, of course, Yatra itself refers to fun. We all are enthusiasm when we start our Yatra. Yatra gives us the feeling of joy and excitement. Not only that, doing Pakshal, Kesar Puja, Prabhu Darshan, Bhajan, Bhakti, Aarti, Jeev Daya, and Dan to needy persons, all itself are fun. Really, how much positivity we can get from these holy places, we can't imagine. We can inspire our youngsters for Yatra by telling them some of the tirths that are located on hills, which will give them trekking, sightseeing experience. Also, when we reach the temple, the atmosphere there is one of a kind. Dancing in joy and chanting mantras all together, clapping in aarti, drum beat in pakshal, singing bhajan will make them to be a part of it. We should tell them how beautiful our temples are. This would be good experience for them. It gives them determination, ability to exchange views, came to know our Tirth history, Jain principles, and learn not to waste food. All these points should be discussed in family, and it would be a good decision to go for Yatra as we will not get all these things in our holidays. It would be much exciting than holidays. So whenever you get a chance, go for it. So instead of saying to our children, we are going for holidays, why not try saying, we are going for Yatra on our holidays? Thank you.
That's beautiful. Especially youngsters like you, if they start coming forward, I think, we are not too far that we can say our Jainism is safe for next 100 years. Right, okay, so if elderly people or the ones who are unable to climb or walk to the certain yatras, how easy it is, you think, to do yatra for them?
Elderly people could do yatra according to their preference. As yatra at plain Tirtha easier and one can reach there by car, so no difficulty. Do darshan, puja bhakti, and they could move to another Tirth, same by the car. But if they want to go to hill yatra, still there are services available for their convenience, like Doli, Palki. If one still can't go due to some reason, then only he can do this. Darshan at Talheti, which is at footsteps of every hill and has its own significance.
Lovely, thank you. So what are the problems that we are facing at our Jain Tirth, you think, that you have experienced when you went there?
Really, there are many, but I'm discussing only few. Some of our holy Tirth had been taken by others because nobody is visiting there. This is the main reason. They are empty. Some of our Pratima temples had gone out of our hands due to only this reason. They are beautiful, like you had seen in the presentation. They are breathtaking. It's bit alike if we leave our house empty, the sweaters would take over. We should go for darshan of our Tirath and make other aware too.
Great. So is it true some people go barefoot on hills, and why?
I'm giving a short answer for it. Yeah, as Jain saints never wear shoes. They walk barefoot due to ahimsa. Ahimsa is the main reason. For the same reason, some people do yatra barefooted on the holy hills.
Right, cool, thank you. So I've heard people like to go to Palitana Yatra the most. So do you know why that is the case?
Really? Palitana is considered as most sacred place of Jains. Everybody knows, I think. Millions and millions of people had attained moksha from each and every part of the Palitana. That's why it's considered as the holiest of holy hill. Most of the Jain wanted to go for darshan there, not only once, but again and again and again. While climbing, seeing the enthusiasm of people, not only of the young kids and old people, we also get power and charge up by saying, Jai Adinath, Adinath Dada ki Jai.
Jai.
Adinath Tirthankar visited here 99 times. Wow. So in that memory, some people do this yatra 99 times in 1 to 3 months, called as Navanu. So this is the main reason.
That's great. So there was mention of the word sattvic food. So would you like to explain what this is and what's the significance of sattvic food?
Sattvic again refer to ahimsa. It is natural and pure vegetarian diet. On yatra, we prefer food from Jain Bhojanshala, which are mostly at all Jain Tirthas. Bhojanshala serves sattvic food only. It makes our energy level high. It is good for health, easy to digest. These are the main things. But that doesn't mean it is tasteless. This food contains less spices and withered onion and garlic and other underground vegetables. That's the main thing. It's the world recognized as Jain food. We should try making this food in our home too, for our healthy body and healthy mind.
Okay. And finally, what's Jivdaya in your opinion?
Jivdaya means to show humanity, mercy, kindness toward every human being, including animals. Our many Tirthas are taking steps for it, like Mini Pavapuri, as Masiji said earlier. In Rajasthan, it is in Rajasthan. They have taken thousands of homeless cows and other animals and saved them from being slaughtered. This is a very important point. We all should encourage Jivdaya in our lives. Believe it, it doesn't need much efforts at all. All we have to do is to be aware of the presence of every tiny creature around us and try not to hurt them intentionally. In the last, with only our kind intentions to raise awareness for the holy Jain places, we have done this presentation, and I hope this would encourage some of the people here and inspire them to come to India. Please do come and have an amazing experience of Yatra. Thanks.
That's really good. Thank you very much. Thank you once again for sharing your personal experiences with us. And it means a lot. So in fact, we can open the floor to anyone if they want to ask any questions while all of these yatris are here. So if you have any questions, please feel free, please unmute yourself and ask any question if you wish.
Hi Manoj, amazing presentations, so interesting, so informative. But could you introduce your family again?
Well, everyone here is a family.
Oh yeah, but the people who've been on the yatra, I feel slightly connected to them now.
Sure. Okay. Right. Let me go back to one of the picture. Right. So the our yatris were, as Kokimasi mentioned, the 5 people there together. So from the left. Oh, can I? No, I haven't done the right sharing. Sorry. Technical glitches are always there. If they are not there, then IT people may not be renowned, and I'm not IT person. There we go. So from the left, you have seen that's Kokimasi. This is Mamta Babi, brother Vikas. So Vikas and Mamta Babi, they married. Myself, Anup, that Masi mentioned, the eldest brother, and my cousin Subrat Jain.
Thank you. So Cockela Masi, Sarita Masi's sister.
Yeah, and she's got another sister today as well, which is from Canada. And I duly apologize to my Mamaji, who's from Delhi. I was looking at my Asha Masi and talking about Bittu Mamaji, and he's showing me his thappad with so, today I must say it just feels like a very, very proper family kind of thing today, and that's how I felt throughout over the years. So that's my Asha Masi. Koki Masi you have seen, and Sarita Masi you already know. Yes.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you. So anyone else, any other question?
See, Manoj, all these beautiful temples which you saw in display in England.
Yes.
So could you also add the Mool Tirthankars who are established there? That could add to the knowledge and who's there.
Fine.
In those temples.
Fine. Yeah, we can definitely look into that. Thank you very much. In fact, these two presentations that you have seen, you're more than welcome. If anyone's interested, let us know. Subahu, myself, and someone will come back to you and share those presentations with you.
Okay, Manoj, sorry. So all those tirths were in Gujarat. So there's other temple complexes, aren't there?
Yes, so it's in Gujarat and in Rajasthan. So those tirths that we showed, yeah.
There's something in South India, there's Shekharji as well. So many, aren't there?
Yeah, Vikas, you can probably take that question.
Has anybody been to Shikharji? Shikharji?
Yes.
That's
Yes,
the
I've been
place. Samme Shikharji, that is the place where 20 Tirthankars. Huh? Very good, yes.
Oh, that's very name.
Yeah, it's in Bihar, isn't it?
It's in Bihar, yeah, Madhuban.
It's in Bihar,
It's
not in
East,
South India.
East Indian.
Yeah, East
in
India,
East India.
near Dhanbad, further than the...
Near Dhanbad.
I think Didi's been, Hannah.
Yeah,
I think
we
Didi's
did.
been a lot.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That is a place I think one must visit as well.
That's our holiest place.
Other than Palitana and Girnarji. Palitana and Girnarji is on the east of India, and that is on the west of India. Yeah.
Right.
There are a lot of temples in South India, also in Mysore.
There is no shortage of temples in India. Probably. I think what they say there is about 1 lakh and some thousand temples in India, Jain temples as such.
Yeah.
So there is no shortage of temples, but these are the main tirth.
Yeah,
These are 3 main tirths, which is the Girnarji, Palitanaji, and Samme Shikharji. ये कहा अपने श्लोक है अष्टापक्षी आदि जिनवर वीर जिन पावापुरी वासुपूज्य चंपा नगर सिद्धा नैम रेवर गिरवरे.
That's amazing to hear. You know, Kokimasi was mentioning that Manoj will sing bhajan, but I don't have that voice today. And this is actually really, I can't. But there was something specific she wanted to say was whenever we go and bow down in front of the temple and the god and the Tirthankar, so we recite one stuti which is called Chaityavandan. So Chaityavandan I have been saying since I was little without realizing the meaning and how it's linked until I went to Yatra, and it was so mesmerizing. So I'll just recite a couple of lines. So first one says, Aaj Dev Arihant Namu, Simru Taru Naam, Jahan Jahan Pratman Jinatani, Nihan Karu Pranam, Shatrun Jai Shri Adinath, Name Namu Girnar, Tarange Shri Ajitnath, Abu Rishabh Johar, and it goes from there as well. But what I realized, like it says Shatrunjay. Shatrunjay is Palitana, because Palitana I think has three names.
Adinath.
Shatrunjay Shri Adinath, because the Mool Nayak Bitu Mamaji is Adinath over there. And the name, huh?
More than 100 names Palitana has. More than
Okay,
100.
oh, sorry. So, I'm glad Raksha mentioned the disclaimer. So today, please pardon me. I'm very humble today to do this. I'm very overwhelmed at the same time. So I may say something wrong. So please forgive me as the youngest member over here. And
Manoj, in Palitana, Bhagwan Adinath has got two temples, one right in the Talati.
Right.
Just as you start,
okay,
right, you step up few steps, probably about 60, 70, 80 steps, and then there is a temple. So those people who cannot climb up, they do puja down the stairs.
Fine. Okay.
So there are two temples, Bhagwan Adinath.
Right.
And then the top temple is the Bhagwan Adinath. So the people who are unable to go, and the local people, they go every day and do puja at a lower temple.
Right. Okay.
Talatika temple.
That's very good to know. And
I
thank you.
also want to say there's a new temple that got completed March 2020, because we were there in South India just before lockdown, in Kanyakumari.
Right.
So anybody going to South India, it's quite near the Vivekananda statue, but obviously it's not in the sea. And they got areas for Jain sadhus to stay there as well. And it's a beautiful temple. Please tell India to even visit, because every Jain place we visited, and we need donations there. So everywhere you go, please give donations so that our religion can survive and move forward for our children.
Definitely. I think that is a very important message. And thank you very much for everyone who participated today. Tabitha Mama, Asha Masi, Sarita Masi, Koki Masi, Vikas, Bhavya Jain, Raksha, Rachna. I think there were many people who participated in that. And with your all of this efforts put together, it wasn't going to be this great. I thoroughly enjoyed today. So thank you very much. I'm just looking at the time. So time is over, and it just disappeared today, the time, I must say that. So thank you.
Let's quickly last minute. I just wondered what we could suggest to the EC is, on the inspiration of what we've just seen, can we do a little mini yatra in the UK as a group? That might be quite uplifting. I don't know. Put it over to everyone to suggest.
Are we invited?
Absolutely. Everybody is always welcome.
Yeah, you said
For
UK, so
yatra.
we thought the Canadians are not allowed over there or something.
No. I meant the yatra in UK, because it's a little bit difficult going to India at the moment. So in the UK, because we saw some lovely temples. So yeah.
Of course. That's a good thought. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Manoj.
No, it's nice actually that everyone's participating today. It is important. At the end of the day, this association is only association when everyone comes together. It's not a single person. It's everyone makes that kind of thing. So today, especially, it's really overwhelming for me for so many reasons. That some of the family members I haven't seen myself, they are here today, and it's amazing. So thank you very much. I must say thank you to Jain Association, the people, the founders who've started this, and some long-standing members are here. I see Dr. Dhariwal want to say something.
Yes, I'm really delighted to see that there were 41 participants today.
Oh, wow.
I keep an eye on these things, and I'm really delighted. And it was a very good presentation. My congratulations and my salutations to those who presented these, both parties. And Manoj also arranging all these things. There's a lot of work goes in arranging presentations like that. I'm furthermore delighted that people are participating in increasing numbers, and I would encourage their own family as well. My wife was sitting for a while and then she had to go for dental treatment because Mukta came to get her and she's gone. But I think it is important that we pass this sort of a ritual in a way to our younger people. So please get all your family together. Although there were 41 participants shown in here, but in actual fact there are much more because whole of the family or one screen comes as a one single participant. So you can imagine that it would be probably about 60 people joining. I mean, we never had in monthly gathering like this, we never had so many people together. Yeah, but it is very good. I think we should, and once we open up, then naturally we would have a place and such programs would be done there. But I think it is, even after that, it's really worth. Mainly more people are joining in simply because they don't have to take the journey. Yeah, and we are still having the benefit of their presence and their opinion and their enjoyment that they get out of seeing things like this, right? Well, I'm delighted, and thanks very much indeed, Manoj.
Thank you very much, Uncle.
Thank you very much.
We need your blessings, as always. You know, my dad is here as well. I'm really glad to see. Dad has taught me so many things. One thing he'll always used to say, you know, don't go to temple if your heart is not there. There is no point going to temple and, you know, just ringing the bell. So as long as your heart is clear, do all those things. And thank you, Dad, for giving me all of those suggestions and your blessings and the knowledge that I gained over the years. So thank you so very much. I don't think I can thank enough with my words. But yeah, thank you. I'm really glad that you are here.
Very good. Okay, well, I think that's the end of the meeting, I believe.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you so much again, everybody. Thank you. And my salutations to you all.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Special thank you to the people from India.
Thank you,
Manoj. Thank you.
Do we have any agenda for next
It
meeting?
is a very great initiative, so it is very nice to see it happening here. So
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mamaji.
I think next meeting would be in November.
Well, next is going to be Diwali function, so we'll have Diwali.
Oh,
So,
Diwali function.
yeah, things will count definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you. So only EC members are going to stay, and we're just going to have our extended meeting just to see the feedback, how it went. So please do feel free to come back to us with your feedback, anything that you liked, anything you did not like, and anything you would like to see.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, everyone.
ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਦੇਖ